We'll start with learning what is a value of move, and all the examples which you will see in this lesson are very basic. But don't get bored, we need to have it clear. Let's look at this position. How much is black's capture worth? It is 2 points. If black captures the stone, black has 1 point of territory and 1 captured stone. On the other hand, if white connects, then no one has any territory here. The value of move is a difference between a local score after black's move and the local score after white's move. So the move value is the same for each of the players, because it is the difference between that score and this score. Let's move to another basic shape. How big is a move in this situation? If black plays, then at the end black will have 1 point. And if white plays first, then after black answers and white plays another move, white has 1 point. What is the difference between these two local scores? In one of the situations, black had 1 point, in the other, white had 1 point. So to count the difference, we need to add these numbers, because this was 1 in black's favor, that was 1 in white's favor. So we see that this is a 2 points move, just like the one before. Oh, but in a real game you won't really see a position like this, completely symmetrical. If it will be about a first line Hane, it would rather look like that. Again, black could play Hane, white plays Atari, black connects, and this is the final result. Or white starts, black plays Atari, and this is the final result. To count the value of a move, we would need to count the local result in both of these situations, but the borders of the territories are not as obvious as in the previous example. But alright, when we look at black, it is clear. We can say that now black has 10 points. And white, well, we can imagine borders around here and here, so white will have 6 points. The local result after white's move is black plus 4. On the other hand, if black plays the first move, white answers, black connects, then when we count the local result, black has 11 points, and white, we need to remember the borders of the territory we invented just now, and white's territory is worth 5 points. The difference is 6 points. Black has 6 points more, and in the previous position, black had 4 points more. Now, to count the value of a move, we need to compare these two local results. Black plus 6 and black plus 4. Both are in black's favor, so we need to subtract these numbers, one from another. 6 points for black or 4 points for black. The difference is 2 points. Just as expected, as in the previous example, the Hane on the first line is worth 2 points. But maybe you found it unnecessarily complicated, because in the end, players are not fighting for all these points in the corner and all the points on the side. The only two intersections which can change the ownership are these two. If black starts, then this will be 1 point for black, and if white starts, then this will be 1 point for white. So when we count the local result, we can just think about these 2 points and say that after black's move, the local result is 1 point for black, and after white's move, the local result is 1 point for white. So then we need to compare these numbers, 1 point for black versus 1 point for white, and the difference between these two scores is 1 plus 1, 2 points. We've counted the value of this very basic move, the first line Hane, in many different ways, and I hope that now you can understand what is a value of move.
By the way, you can also watch these lessons on our platform, gomagic.org. Except there, you'll watch them with interactive quizzes right within the lessons and practical exercises right after them. And if you enjoy watching these Go videos and you don't want to miss others like this one, go smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this is Go Magic.